How many of us use a smartphone every single day? And how many of us, if we're being honest, use it a little too much? Now, imagine being a teenager growing up in a world where social connections, entertainment, and even schoolwork revolve around this small device. For years, concerns have been growing about the effects of smartphone use, particularly social media, on young people's mental health. In response, several countries have banned smartphones in schools, hoping to curb distractions, reduce cyberbullying, and improve student well being. But the question we should be asking is, does banning phones in schools truly solve the problem? Or do we need a more comprehensive approach? There is no doubt that adolescent mental health is a growing concern. Studies have shown that between 2009 and 2019, the number of American high school students experiencing persistent feelings of hopelessness rose by 40%. Even more alarming, the number of teenagers seriously considering suicide increased by 36%. These are not just statistics, they represent real struggles faced by millions of young people today. Many researchers and parents point to social media as a key factor contributing to this crisis. After all, it's during adolescence that the brain undergoes critical changes, shaping how young people experience emotions, self esteem, and relationships. But is banning smartphones in schools the right way to tackle this issue? On the surface, restricting phone use in schools seems like a logical step. After all, fewer distractions in class should lead to better focus, and reduced screen time should, in theory, promote better mental health. Countries like France, the Netherlands, and Hungary have already taken this route, and Britain is considering it. But recent research suggests that school bans alone may not be enough to make a meaningful difference. A study published in The Lancet found that while excessive smartphone use is associated with a decline in mental well being, there was no significant difference between students in schools with strict phone bans and those in schools with more relaxed policies. In other words, banning phones during school hours does not necessarily stop teenagers from overusing them outside of school. The issue is not just about screen time, it's about how teenagers use their devices. Research has shown that social media has a stronger negative impact during certain developmental stages. A study from the University of Cambridge found that girls who increased their social media use between ages 11 to 13 and boys who did so between 14 to 15 reported lower life satisfaction. This suggests that social media's effects are not the same for everyone, and a one size fits all solution, like banning phones in schools, may miss the bigger picture. Instead of just focusing on school policies, we need to consider what happens at home, how young people interact with digital content, and what kinds of support they receive. If banning smartphones in schools isn't enough, then what is? The reality is that tackling the adolescent mental health crisis requires a broader, more balanced approach. First, parents and guardians play a crucial role. Encouraging open conversations about social media use, setting healthy boundaries, and modeling good screen habits can make a big difference. Schools can also incorporate digital literacy into the curriculum, teaching students not just when to use their phones, but how to use them responsibly. Governments and tech companies must also step up. Social media platforms collect vast amounts of data on user behavior, yet independent researchers struggle to access detailed information on how these platforms affect young people. Increased transparency from tech companies, stricter regulations on harmful content, and better privacy protections could help create a safer online environment for teenagers. At the end of the day, banning smartphones in schools may provide temporary relief, but it is not a long term solution. Adolescents live in a digital world, and we must equip them with the skills and support they need to navigate it safely. Instead of viewing smartphones as the enemy, we should focus on promoting healthy digital habits, fostering strong support networks, and advocating for responsible tech policies. So, the next time we worry about how much time young people spend on their phones, let's ask a different question. Are we giving them the right tools to use technology in a way that benefits their mental health rather than harms it? Because if we truly want to support the next generation, we need to go beyond bans and start building a better digital future together.